Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're diving into a story that has captivated millions of fans across Turkey and beyond, the emotional and controversial connection between Yağmur Yüksel and Barış Baktaş, two names that have become inseparable in the world of Turkish television. Before we begin, don't forget to subscribe, like the video, and click the join button below to support the channel. Now, let's get into today's story. When fiction becomes reality. Every now and then, a television series creates more than just entertainment, it sparks real emotions that refuse to stay behind the camera. That's exactly what happened with Konsesekleri, the hit Turkish drama that brought together Yağmur Yüksel and Barış Baktaş. From their very first scene, audiences could sense that something extraordinary was happening. Their chemistry was raw, natural, and so convincing that even the most skeptical viewers couldn't help but wonder if their connection was more than just acting. Behind the scenes, their professional partnership quickly grew into a deep friendship. They rehearsed lines late into the night, shared stories about their careers, and developed a trust that made their performances even more powerful. What started as two professionals working together soon evolved into something much more complicated. A hidden connection. According to several sources from the production team, Yağmur and Barış were inseparable during filming breaks. They were often seen laughing between takes, sharing quiet moments away from the rest of the cast, and exchanging glances that seemed to hold a meaning only they could understand. To anyone watching, it was obvious that a powerful bond was forming. And soon, that bond began to cross the invisible line between fiction and reality. Yağmur, who had always been known for her reserved personality, found herself emotionally drawn to her co-star in a way she had never experienced before. Barış, on the other hand, was already married, a fact that complicated everything. At first, Yağmur tried to convince herself that what she was feeling was just part of the job. After all, acting often requires deep emotional connection, especially in romantic roles. But as the days passed and the scenes grew more intense, it became harder to separate what was real from what was scripted. Emotions behind the camera. The turning point reportedly came during the filming of one of the show's most emotional scenes, a confrontation between their characters that ended with a confession of love. Crew members recall that when the cameras stopped rolling, Yağmur remained frozen in place, visibly shaken. She wasn't acting anymore, one crew member later told a reporter. You could see it in her eyes. Those tears weren't scripted. That day marked a shift. The emotional line between the characters and the actors had disappeared completely. For Yağmur, it wasn't just a role anymore. It was something real, something deeply personal. The reality of Barış's marriage. However, love stories off-screen are rarely as simple as those on television. Barış Baktaş was, and still is, married. His wife, who had supported him throughout his career, reportedly grew uneasy about the growing intimacy between her husband and his co-star. Tabloids began speculating that Barış's home life was under strain. While neither he nor his wife made any public statement, people close to the family confirmed that tensions had risen sharply during the filming period. Yağmur, aware of the situation, found herself in emotional turmoil. Friends say she was torn between her feelings and her principles. She didn't want to hurt anyone, a close confidant revealed. But she couldn't deny that she had fallen in love. It was a situation with no easy answers, a love that couldn't be expressed, a connection that couldn't be ignored, and a reality that couldn't be changed. Silence and speculation. As rumors spread, both actors chose silence. Publicly, they maintained professionalism. Interviews were carefully worded, smiles were controlled, and appearances were limited. But silence only fueled speculation. Fans began dissecting every social media post, every interview, every on-screen glance for hidden meanings. Some were convinced they were secretly together, others believed they were suffering in silence, keeping their emotions buried under the weight of reality. Meanwhile, gossip magazines published headlines like "Love on Set" and Yağmur's secret heartache. The story became impossible to escape. The aftermath of emotion. As the pressure mounted, Yağmur reportedly withdrew from social media and kept a low profile. Those close to her said she had become more reflective, spending time away from the spotlight. She focused on new projects, but it was clear that something had changed in her. Barış, too, seemed different. His usual confidence appeared subdued. In interviews, when asked about his experience on Konsersekleri, he often paused before answering, his tone softer than usual. "It was a project that changed me," he said once. "It taught me a lot about emotion, honesty, and limits." For many, those words said more than any confession ever could. A love that couldn't be. Those who witnessed their connection firsthand describe it as something rare, the kind of understanding that doesn't require words. They say Yağmur and Barış had an almost magnetic energy, drawn to each other even when they tried to keep their distance. But in reality, timing and circumstances were against them. Their connection was powerful, but it existed in the wrong place, at the wrong time. And so, they did the only thing they could, they buried their feelings and moved forward with their lives. Even so, the emotional truth of what they shared remained. Their on-screen chemistry didn't just come from skill, it came from something deeply human. The experience of two people who found something extraordinary but couldn't hold on to it. The audience's reaction. When the series ended, fans were left heartbroken. Many felt that the intensity between Yağmur and Barış had made the show unforgettable. Even after the finale aired, fan accounts continued to post scenes of the two together, editing clips into emotional montages set to romantic music. Online forums debated endlessly, was their connection real? Was it just acting? Did Barış's wife forgive him? Did Yağmur ever move on? The speculation never truly ended. Years later, clips from Konsersekleri still circulate online, with fans commenting that the duo's chemistry remains unmatched. What remains today? As of today, both Yağmur Yüksel and Barış Baktaş have continued with their careers. Yağmur is focusing on new projects that allow her to grow artistically, while Barış remains one of the most respected actors in the industry. But every time their names appear together, the same memory resurfaces, that undeniable spark, that complicated love story that blurred the line between reality and fiction. Neither has ever spoken publicly about what really happened, and perhaps they never will. Some stories are too personal, too fragile to be shared openly. But one thing is certain, what they experienced changed them both. The unwritten ending. In the world of acting, emotions are borrowed and returned. But sometimes, they linger, long after the cameras stop rolling. For Yağmur Yüksel and Barış Baktaş, Konsersekleri was more than a television project. It was a chapter in their lives that left an indelible mark. Whether it was love, admiration, or simply an unspoken bond, only they truly know. And perhaps that's why their story continues to fascinate, because it reminds us that even in a world built on illusion, the heart doesn't always follow the script. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, don't forget to subscribe, share, and click the join button below to support our work. We'll be back soon with more exclusive stories from behind the scenes of the entertainment world. Take care, and see you in the next video.